I went to school for computer science, which is actually kind of funny because how did a computer science major end up as a photographer? I was working for another photography studio and I kind of fell in love with like the entrepreneurial thought process. And this is early days of digital. I remember like seeing all these potential ideas for what you could do. So him and I actually started a side business that we called Memories in Motion, slideshows and DVD menus and like these things that you could do with technology, with photography. And it was all new at the time, so it was exciting. So I basically owned a photography business, but I didn't know anything about photography. So the next day I walked into Henry's, a camera store, and I was like, hey, I'm a photographer. What camera should I buy? So I walked out with my, fancy Rebel XT and my Sigma 70-200 and kind of the rest is history. But one of the things that I realized in that whole process was that I always looked at myself as being an entrepreneur first and a photographer second. One of the things I've come to learn and one of the things that I teach photographers and that success in photography is 80% business, 20% photography. I was doing the things I love to do as a photographer. I was full-time, I was succeeding. I was also helping and coaching other photographers. One day where all these things came to like a head where I had, a client had emailed me back asking questions about a contract. Another client needed an invoice. Another client needed a gallery. Another client needed this. I was sending emails for this. And like, it was one day that I was like, why are these things not together? It just make my life so much easier. And so I said to myself, hey, do I find it complicated? No doubt other photographers find it complicated too. That was when I set out to make what is now Sprout Studio, which is like a tool that helps photographers make a living doing what they love and kind of helps with that 80% of the work that is the business side. So our why couldn't be more clear. We want to help photographers make a living doing what they love. We kind of invented a new category. We are very much a tool and a suite and a culture created by photographers for photographers. You can do in Sprout what you can do in a CRM, but you can also do in Sprout what you would do in a booking tool or in an invoicing tool. And you can also do in Sprout what you would do in a gallery tool or a digital fulfillment tool. You can also do in Sprout what you would need a scheduling tool for. You can also do in Sprout what you would need an email marketing tool for. You can also do in Sprout what you would need a bookkeeping tool to do. Holistically, I believe that photographers don't need to piece together their own hodgepodge, all these tools that don't really speak together and you got logins and emails and things coming from different systems. Photographers need to simplify their business so that they can just focus on taking great pictures and serving their clients well. So Sprout Studio basically is an all-in-one suite of tools that helps photographers run their business. I found my own definition of success as a wedding and portrait photographer. So I was full-time. My wife and I, we paid off our mortgage. We vacationed when we wanted. We owned our vehicles. All of that from the money that I made with my camera. So I know what it's like to make a living doing what I love and, not having to burn the candle at both ends. And yet at the same time, I see so many photographers who struggle. And they struggle not because they're not great photographers. They struggle because they just can't find traction on the business side of what they do, on the sales and the marketing and the pricing and the customer experience, organization and time management of running a photography business. And so that's where I thought I could make a bigger impact, is in helping other photographers do the thing that I loved to do and that I found success in doing. I want to help more photographers do that. So that's why we exist, and everything we do, every feature, every bit of content, everything that we do filters through that lens. That's what we live and breathe by, and every decision we make goes through that. Well, there's this editing company that helps with the post-production of photography. We have a long relationship with Shoot.Edit back to the early days. We collaborated so well and have always had a great relationship together. And similar folks, if I think guys like Fundy and their software and their album building tool, similarly for Smart Albums, Daniel and the folks over there at Pixeloo, they exist with some really great tools to help there. Spencer at MagMod, and they're pushing the envelope, trying to help photographers just do better, make better images. ProPhoto, I love companies like that just exist for photographers and that show up in full service to help photographers. The thing that I like to encourage photographers to think about is motion does not equal progress. Don't mistake motion for progress. A rocking horse moves all day long, but doesn't go anywhere, and a lot of photographers will spend a lot of time doing things that might feel good for them in the moment because it kind of feels like they're being busy, but they're not actually moving anywhere in their business. And so I just like to encourage photographers to say, where is it that you, as the photographer, as the creative, as the CEO in your business, where is it that you are best served? And I would say that photographers are best served when they're photographing and when they're in front of clients. And in my opinion, anything that's outside of those two things, if the camera's not in their hand or the client's not in front of them, they should be trying to find ways to streamline it, to systematize it, to outsource it, to resource it out. It's where you guys come in with Shoot.Edit. It's where we come in with Sprout Studio. We can help with the heavy lifting. The photographer can truly just focus on just being an excellent creative and excellent photographer, giving their clients a great experience and being in front of their clients to make connections.